Welcome to CBS Sports HQ, presented by TaylorMade Tour Response Stripe Golf Ball. Play in color. Here's a look at the final leaderboard from the 2023 Memorial Tournament, and it took 73 holes to complete this event. First hole of the playoff, Viktor Hovland edges Denny McCarthy, who held the lead for much of the final round until, 18. Hovland came back with a late birdie. McCarthy a late bogey, and then 18 got him again on the first playoff hole. Viktor Hovland, fourth career title, undoubtedly the largest of his career, is the 2023 Memorial Tournament champion. And for more on what went down Sunday at Muirfield Village in Dublin, Ohio, we welcome in Kyle Porter, co-host of the First Cut podcast. Kyle, look, like a tale of two emotions here. Heartbreak for Denny McCarthy, who came so close to winning his very first PGA Tour title in a massive event. But Viktor Hovland, what can you say about the way he played down the stretch and in the playoff?
Well, it was the way he's been playing for the last few months. You know, Hovland was really good at the Masters, nearly won the PGA Championship, kind of faltered there late, and then goes out and wins the Memorial, which is one of the, 5 or 6 best regular PGA Tour events of the year. And this is a big step for him in his career. He's won a lot as a professional. This is his 110th start in OWGR events, and he's won 8 of them now. So that's about a 7% winning clip. That's a pretty big winning percentage for somebody that is that young, that's still kind of fresh out, on the PGA Tour. But he lacked that signature win, and now he has it. He wins the Memorial. That's a massive deal compared to some of the other events that he had won, which were good events, but not an event like the Memorial. So I think it's a big step forward for him in major championship-like conditions, and I think it sets him up very well for what could be a summer of adding a major championship at the U.S. Open or Open Championship.
That is Kyle Porter. Kyle, thanks so much, and you can hear much more from Kyle on the First Cut podcast, which takes you inside the ropes of the PGA Tour and beyond. Previews, picks, deep dives into the storylines that propel the golf world. It's the First Cut podcast. Download and subscribe wherever you podcast. Back here on CBS Sports HQ, Russ Thaler in studio, joined by CBS Sports lead golf announcer Jim Nantz. And Jim, thank you so much for joining us. Second week in a row, we go to extra holes in a playoff, and it's Viktor Hovland just getting past Denny McCarthy. And from your perch, how did this play out in front of you in the final round of the Memorial Tournament?
I think it was about Viktor Hovland with just a little more experience in being in a position like this, being able to know what it would take to put the pressure on someone who had not won before on the tour. He birdied 17. He was the only player of the day to birdie the 17th hole. And then that, of course, trimmed it to 1. That meant McCarthy had to come to 18, the hardest hole on the course all day long, and figure out a way to make 4. And Viktor Hovland is just a big-time world-class player. And I think this is a very important step in his career. He's upper echelon, no question. And there are major championships coming up in his building resume, and it's a massive win for him.
Top 10 at the Masters, tied for second at the PGA Championship, tied for third at the Players. Viktor Hovland coming up big in the biggest events, and he finally gets a signature victory, albeit maybe one slight step below a major championship. But would you put Viktor Hovland now in that group of players who has a chance to win that major title at the U.S. Open in a couple weeks?
I think there's no question he becomes one of the guys that you look at when you start talking about who to pick in a major championship. And I think he already was on that short list, Russ, to be honest. As you said, look at the high finishes he's had in events like Augusta this year, at the Players. There he was at Oak Hill playing in the final pairing with Brooks Koepka. So, here we are 2 weeks away from LA Country Club and the U.S. Open, and Viktor's going to be a player that a lot of people are going to say might be the guy that's going to take the title there. But his victory today just emboldens him, I believe, and he will be a favorite, one of the favorites at big events in golf for a long time. This is not just a flash in the pan. Viktor Hovland's going to be one of the big stars of the game for another 15, 20 years. You can bank on it.
Jim, I feel like we wouldn't be doing the day any justice if we didn't spare a thought for Denny McCarthy, who came oh so close to winning his first title on the PGA Tour, 10 straight pars. He went 27 straight holes without a bogey until the 72nd hole. He even said he was heartbroken. But through the passage of time, how do you think that Denny McCarthy might look back on this week?
I think he's going to realize it with a couple of days of rest and a lot of messages coming in that he made a lot of new fans. But I think he also found out something about himself. He really did answer the bell a number of times today. He had an impossible up and down for par at 12. He got up and down out of the bunker for par at 15. He made a beautiful par save putt and up and down out of the sand at 16. And he came to 18. He did not blow this. This was not like he crumbled. He lost to a great player, and he stumbled, if that's what you want to call it, at the 18th hole, which most of the field did all day long. Denny McCarthy, you watch. I wouldn't be surprised if he's right back in the mix soon, and the next time maybe it goes his way.
That is the voice of golf, ladies and gentlemen. From CBS Sports, Jim Nantz from Muirfield Village, just outside Columbus, Ohio. Jim, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Russ. Good to visit with you.
And wouldn't it be nice to step up to your ball and know you're going to stripe it every time? Play in color with performance and alignment that's impossible to ignore. You can scan the QR code to learn more.